Yo, internet, what's happening? Today, I'm gonna show you what I got going on here. Got this in here, obviously. Got it pretty much disassembled, leaving the window in there, and probably gonna paint it right here. Got some, the lovely two-sided tape, and I got a eraser wheel for that here just today. So yeah. This is the door that I'm going to use to replace the one that got smashed on the Fox. So, can't really complain for $35 whole. It didn't have the window motor, but it did come equipped with power window regulator and power locks, so that's pretty sweet. Been painted before, as I said, had to deal with that, and not perfect, but what I'm going to do to find all these dents and stuff is kind of block where I see the dings, and that'll show up in the paint, and then I can get on to prepping the paint. Otherwise it's pretty straight, no rust, good to go. Yo, haven't been really recordificating a lot of the steps here, but panel's actually pretty good shape. Only had a couple dingers, one there, little skim coat action, block it out. I'm ready to do some primer, so I got it all masked up. I went to the paint store, got some more lacquer thinner and some primer activator, since the stuff I had in my cabinet was hard in the bottle. So I think I'll at least show you guys the priming and everything else, so on and so forth from here on out. Got my booth set up, and yeah, this is what I usually do, lay some plastic down. I like to at least put something down on the floor just to keep the overspray off on there. It doesn't really stick to the walls too much. I used to build, I'm painting a lot more panels, I'll build like walls with the plastic, but this will do fine for just priming it. Alright, went as well as priming can go. As you can see in the time lapse, I went a little heavy on the repair areas and just kind of an overall coat to make this thing kind of even. Might be a little overkill for a drift car, but we're trying to set standards here. You know, Foxes are kind of known for being a little raggedy at the drift track, so, you know, trying to make that a little better. So what I'm gonna do now is find some random black paint and put on a guide coat. I don't know if I have any black. It's all white. Dark, just generic spray paint, and this is what a guide coat looks like. So what this does, you can see kind of how the technique is to apply it. It's not a very covering coat. But what it does is it puts paint that's in a lot of contrast to your primer. So when you're sanding it, you'll be able to see the low spots and guide you to having a smooth panel before you paint it. So as you can almost see where my repairs were, they weren't very big repairs, but I'm gonna kind of start here, form the paint. There was a little sharp edge in the filler. You can kind of see it there with the sun. So you kind of round that off to make it look like the rest of the panel. And then you just sand till there's no more guide coat, then you know it's all kind of on an even surface. I'll kind of explain here. After just literally 5 seconds of sanding, you can see where like the low and high spots are, because this part's getting hit first, getting rid of the guide coat, And this is where the low spot is because it hasn't got hit by the sanding paper on the block. So kind of want to work that area, get them all even. It's really just, you know, taking your time. You can always re-prime it if you want to try and avoid that and avoid breaking through to any metal after you prime it, of course. Otherwise you gotta kind of put something over there. You don't want to paint over bare metal. I mean, you can get away with very minimal breakthroughs, but I wouldn't recommend it. All right, so a little dust down there. I got my lens cap covered. Hold on a second. There we go. Got the silver all dialed in down here. Pretty decent. I did buy a new gun and the fluid comes out a lot faster, so gotta get used to that real quick. Got the trim piece prepped in painted in silver as well, so I can just sit and hang out until I'm ready for clear. Ripped off my mask for the blue, so I'm gonna let this flash good for like a half hour and then mask off the silver and then do the blue, the rest of the door in the blue. Yeah. Sweet, so the base coats are on, two-tone's looking pretty good. Pretty happy so far. So I did get a different gun than I'm using than usual. And it is a Harbor Freight gun. I forget which line's like the second from the best they sell, 130 bucks. And had to make some adjustments in the silver because it actually, the metallic inside the paint started running because it was putting out a lot more fluid than I'm used to with my old gun, which I threw away after my last paint job. And so it's been a bit, but I'm really happy with it. So we'll see how it does clear. It doesn't say it's recommended for clear, as it's a 1.7 nozzle. Usually clear guns that they were selling had a 1.3, so we'll see what happens. All right, let it sit overnight, and nothing too major. Looks pretty good for a garage job. Did get some little runs along that whole little trim area piece, but lucky for me, there's a whole big piece that's gonna cover that. So yeah, not too shabby. I think the hardest part's yet gonna come because I gotta re-rivet the door handle on there, get all that stuff, transfer power window motor, all that crazy crap, but at least this is done. Window motor, harness, other doodads out, transferred over, put a little battery to this action, window actually moves up and down, so that's a plus, key works, cylinder lock in, gotta find where I took the handle off, or I have to take the one off of there, but progress is progress. Alright, I've been slacking and capturing like the moments, but look at that. All back in one piece. Just got to get it down and clean it up. It's been collecting dust here. I ended up just touching up all like this area here. I don't know if you'll be able to pick that up on camera or not. All the paint just blasted off of it from the impact. So I just touched it up, put some Spray Bomb Clear from Auto Touch Up. It's actually some pretty good product for out of an aerosol. It actually smells like regular clear coat. And yeah, everything works in the door. I did forget to hook up my power lock solenoid. I did rivet it on there. So yeah, can't even tell this door was running unless you look real close. So I'm pretty happy with it. Closed real nice. You know, standard Fox body things that even, usually can't get away with that with many Foxes, but that was a very challenging part. So window works, window's already tinted, it's got a little purple hue to it, but whatever, for 65 bucks, not complaining. So I'm sure you noticed that little guy. Just never got around to it. Maybe when I actually go through this car someday, I'll get all the little quirks out of it. I think I'm gonna put some carpet back in it. It's just becoming more of a street duty car. And so, yeah, that wraps up the mishap from our last video. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for some more exciting things. Got Fuel Fest coming up. I'll be bringing both cars. It's happening April 4th, so you should probably come out to that. That's going to be a lot of fun. There's only going to be like 35 drivers drifting. Huge car show. It's put on by Cody Walker, and Tyrese will be there. So they're trying to make like a Fast and the Furious come to life kind of thing. So I'm going to be one of their drivers, giving people ride-alongs to their VIP guests. So I got to get this car ready. Not much to do. Just basically, I got a couple more wheels coming from variant, so on and so forth. I'm sure you're wondering about that little guy out there too. So wait for Power by the Hour to come up with some solutions for me, which they are. A lot of you might know, and I've already guessed just me saying that what I'm going to do to the car. But how I'm going to do it is going to be a little unique once I get around to it. Got a lot of other personal things going on with collaborating forces with the old lady, so that's got to take precedence. So anyway, thanks for watching again, guys. Make sure you like this video so YouTube does the algorithm shit and all that other YouTube cliche endings. So stick around.